Welcome to Unity Inspired Living. Our community began in 1989 as a small worldwide Unity book study group, and we've continued the momentum as an ever-evolving spiritual community. Each Sunday, you will find dynamic thought leaders delivering inspiring messages and talented musicians sharing sound healing through their melody. Here, we embrace ancient spiritual traditions, universal truths, and emerging wisdom. Let's check out this Sunday message. We're so grateful you've joined us.
We're flowing today. My name is Amy Vanling, and it is my delight, my joy to be here with you each week, sharing an inspiring experience. That's what we're here. We are inspired and inspiring. When you log in with us, you will discover a dynamic variety of thought leaders and remarkably talented musicians who share their gifts with us each Sunday, and we are so grateful we are co-creating the space together. It is a space, a place in consciousness that we get to dive into, and it is a really special time, and we are so grateful for all of us tuning in together at the same time in this space. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Florence. We see you. We love you. Thank you for being here, co-creating with us. We are truly many voices, many hearts, many souls, sharing inspiration and activating frequency of love on the planet. And I invite you this morning to open up, allow space to feel, hear, and experience what is meant for you here today. It may be through the music, it may be through the message, it may be through both, it may be through the inspirational reading that Jan has for us, the prayer, whatever it may be all of the above. And when we create the space for that to drop in, that's where we get to bask in all of it. Good morning, fabulous beings. Nancy says, good morning. I find it difficult to see the live on my computer. Maybe others do too. So happy to be here. You couldn't find it on the computer? So I'm here. I'm in San Diego this morning. I'm at my mom's house and she's here. It's not on the computer? How about on your phone? Okay. Yeah, it's okay. We're good. Other people are logging in, so maybe there's something going on. Jennifer says, happy Sunday blessings, everyone. Welcome, Reverend Verona and HEARTDREAM. Thank you, Amy, Jan, for holding a beautiful space of love. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and creating the beautiful space of love with us. We are so deeply grateful. Our theme this month is releasing resistance. And we've been having fun with this theme. We began last week, and now we're diving into it a little bit more. And just remembering that resistance is often fear in disguise, clinging, because our brains like to be in the known. So clinging to the known, while the soul, our divinity, longs to expand, to really feel it all. And when we release our struggle, can be sometimes a struggle against what is, we can step into that flow of divine order, and we can declare that every shift holds a gift for us. Trust that what feels like disruption, or maybe something that wasn't planned, that it might be actually making space in your life for something greater. It kind of goes along with that quote that's attributed to Einstein. And I don't know if it actually is, but we say it a lot. There are two ways to live your life. One is though nothing is a miracle, and the other is though everything is a miracle. So we have intelligence to choose which lens we want to view everything through, right? And so let's tap into our divine intelligence and choose miracles. Why not? So taking us into the miracles and the flow this morning will be our divine exquisite being that we know as Reverend Verona Garland. And it is my utmost joy to welcome her back with us, a soul who shines so brightly, such an inspiration, open-hearted. She radiates goodness, goddessness, glory, all the things. And we're so grateful to have you here with us this morning. I'm particularly delighted to have you on Zoom with me today, because Verona is often in person in Brentwood, not necessarily on Zoom with me. So it's a treat for me today. So thank you, beloved. Also, friends, this incredible being just wrote a book. And she's having a book signing today in Oakland at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. And we can drop that information in the chat when we conclude here. So be sure to be there. If you're not there, check out the book. I'm going to drop the link to the book as well. So thank you, beloved, for being with us. Today, the message is embracing the flow. And we will have a workshop today from 11:30 to 12:30, Revelations of Truth. And that's on our Zoom link. And we all gather in that Zoom room for the workshop. And I'm also going to drop that link here. So there's going to be a lot of things dropped in the chat later. So check it all out and join us for that. That's following our service here on Facebook live stream. So we look forward to seeing you there. And everybody is invited. Remember that everybody's welcome into our space. So invite your neighbors, your friends, your family, everybody. Your cat, if your cat's on your lap. My cat used to sit on my lap during workshops. Thank you, beloved Verona Garland, for being with us this morning. We're so grateful for you, deeply grateful for you. We also have on the screen with us the incredibly spirited, soul-filled, talented, skilled HEARTDREAM, and they are gifting us with their magnificent presence and melody and joy-filled essence. They are mystical and magical, and the musical joy that they bring to us is unsurpassed. They are Mirabai and Steve Bangs. They are HEARTDREAM, and they're sensational souls, two beings that fully share their hearts with us. And we are so grateful for what you bring to us, the blessings that you bestow upon us through your music. And we're grateful to share time. Reminder for everybody, because you are going to want their music, you can find HEARTDREAM at heartdream.com and all the streaming platforms. So you can find their music everywhere. And that is so convenient and wonderful these days to just plug in and find the music we want to listen to that is inspiring and fills our hearts and souls. So thank you, HEARTDREAM, for saying yes to us and being with us this morning. We're so grateful. We have our amazing, there are not words to really describe this being that is our beautiful shining light, dedicated, compassionate heart, Jan Knight. She is sharing our selected inspirational reading, all of the community announcements, and our prayer plentitude with us this morning. Thank you, Jan, for saying yes to us. So we, Verona, HEARTDREAM, Jan, I welcome you into this space with us this morning. We're grateful to give you these virtual hugs and send our love through the waves to you. And we feel your presence here with us. So good morning, everybody. I see you logging in. Hello, Kathy, Luwinda. Yay, Mom, you got in. Yay. Okay. Everything seems to be working and we're rolling. So we're going to move into our mission statement. And I'd invite you to activate the space, enliven our mission statement. However you do that, maybe you place your hand on your heart. Maybe you take a deep inhale, inspiration, breath of the spirit, and feel into what our mission is here at Unity Inspired Living. Our mission is fostering love and wisdom, inspiring transformation, offering compassionate outreach, and embracing unity. And we are truly so grateful to be doing this together. It would be kind of boring by ourselves. So thank you. Thank you for being part of the fun expansion, the dynamic of love and growth and peace and support, all the good things here. We're so grateful. So I'm going to turn the screen over to HEARTDREAM, Mirabai, and Steve. They have our community song. We invite you to sing along, Oh, Sing My Heart.
Oh, sing, my heart, sing.
A favorite. That is an Eastern Indian chant lyrics, but it's been adapted by Heart Dream. And how beautiful is that? Thank you for bringing us into that space. Perfect. It's just what we needed. Okay, I'm going to hand the screen over to Jan. She has our inspirational reading, community announcements, and her precious soul to share.
Oh, thank you for starting us off with that, Heart Dream. I love that. I just love it. I'm just singing along here. Okay, everyone. We have a few announcements this morning I'd like to share with you to start our morning. Please join us. Amy has already invited you. I'm inviting you again. Please join us for the play shop. I'm calling it. I think she calls it a play shop. After this service with Reverend Verona, as we continue our discussion regarding revelations of truth, beginning at 11:30 on Zoom. So that may be 10:30 on some of your clocks still, but come on in. You will find the link on our homepage. And that's unityinspiredliving.org. Everybody's welcome. Please, please, please come in and join us for this wonderful discussion. And then I want to thank everyone who came for our first Sunday in March service and our annual meeting. We had a full house. It was wonderful last Sunday. What a glorious celebration and sharing of our plans for 2025. Thank you to everyone who showed up for that great meeting. Okay, and also remember to mark your calendar for Saturday, March 15th, which is next Saturday. And this is our third Saturday circle, community circle, and our potluck. And we're gathering at 11 o'clock at Luinda's home and in Bay Point, Luinda's home. And this will be a very special third Saturday because we're going to have a special birthday celebration for our elder, Don Eggleston, who is turning 98. 98. So we are going to celebrate Don. So be sure you be there. Be sure you be there. Be sure you come on at 11 o'clock. See you all there. And if you are interested in this, if you are interested in organizing or at least helping to organize a monthly healing night, which we have put on our events for the rest of the year. We are starting a monthly healing night and we're just in the organizing processes. So if that's of interest to you, call me or call Nancy and we'll get in touch and we'll start the planning together. Okay, and if you have a little extra time in the month to connect with those in the community who love to have a visit or a phone call or a message, a text message a couple times a month to them. We're looking for a team leader, but we're also looking for members for our Compassionate Outreach Committee. So please contact me if you have a little extra time in your month and time to support some of those that would love to have a visit, either virtually or in person. So thank you so much for listening. And now I'm going to move on to our inspirational reading. Our inspirational reading is called Release, and it's from Daily Word, an earlier Daily Word, actually during COVID, a daily word coming from the time of COVID, the beginning of COVID. Okay, it's called Release. And so I just invite you to take this in. Take this in. I release concerns and affirm perfect order, perfect peace. Every moment holds within it the opportunity to transform my life. I quiet my mind and I consciously detach from the whirl and the rush of hurried activity at work or at home. And instead, I center my awareness on peace. In peaceful stillness, I breathe slowly and evenly. With ease and grace, I inhale divine love, leaving no room for tension or fear. I turn my attention toward letting go of any attachments or outcomes or deadlines or stress. I release all that. I just stop it. I release it. I let it go. Whatever has been at the forefront of my concerns, I now push out of my mind, releasing all to spirit. I fill the space left behind with positive, productive, faith-filled thoughts. And here's the affirmation. I release concerns and affirm perfect order, perfect peace. And the Psalms 4:4 is when you are disturbed, do not sin, ponder it on your beds, and be silent. All about meditation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jan. I like that affirmation, affirming perfect order, knowing it to be. Thank you for you. Thank you for all the announcements. We are grateful for you. I'm going to hand the screen back over to HEARTDREAM. They have another song for us. I Talk to God in My Heart. This is one of their songs.
So many lessons I have left to learn, 'cause my mind wonders which way to turn. So I stop and listen to the tree, and for God's healing whisper in the breeze. Close my eyes, go deep within. Every day, that's where I start. Let it go, feel the wisdom flow. I talk to God in my heart. When I get home really late at night, I thank God for this divine insight that love's in every heart and hand, reaching out for me to understand. Close my eyes, go deep within. Every day, that's where I start. Let it go, feel the wisdom flow. I talk to God in my heart as I walk on the sacred path with the sun upon my face. I rise above the rocky ground to the endless bliss of God's grace. Close my eyes, go deep within. Every day, that's where I start. Let it go, feel the wisdom flow. I talk to God in my heart. I talk to God in my heart. I talk to God. Hello, God, in my heart.
Wow, I love that. Hello, God. I like that I was still echoing there a little bit too. Stephen Mirror, I have this amazing system, but when it's on, when we're on, it echoes. But that was a perfect time to echo. Hello, God. Oh, perfect, perfect. Okay, I'm going to hand the screen over to Jan. She has our prosperity blessing for us this morning. Thank you so much, beloved.
Okay. All right. I love that song too. Just makes me smile, especially the Hello God. Okay, so now is our time to go within and to focus on our abundance, our plenitude, our prosperity. So I invite you to join me now as we move into the space of oneness with spirit. So take a deep breath and release it and go deeper. Maybe just close your eyes as I share with you this blessing. We quiet our minds and we open to the great realization of an abundant universe. We recognize there is an unseen presence for good that creates all life out of itself for the purpose of expressing itself more in life. This one life lacks nothing. It lacks nothing. We are one with this one life, inseparable from love, peace, divine power, beauty, joy, light, and limitless supply on this planet called Earth. We embrace this truth and align our consciousness with divine order and balance expressed through the givingness of spirit and the receptivity within our core. While we may be faced with human conditions that awaken our vulnerability, we remember to quiet ourselves and connect with an inner stillness that is grounded in the divine flow of giving and receiving. We place our faith in the invisible power and the presence of spirit that supplies more than is needed. We practice gratitude for all the life gifts that are given to us, and accept that there is more coming our way always. We align and we operate from our divine nature to give freely for a compassionate heart to ourselves and others, assured that we are never void. And we discard distractions of thought that begin with what if. And we replace this lack thinking, this fear, with affirming that something better is unfolding. We set our intention to engage in right action that attracts opportunities to prosper. We affirm we are worthy, we are capable, we are willing to move our feet beyond comfort and try something new. We operate with the courage to see ourselves as abundant beings. We reframe our self-images and know we are included. We are willing to show up and be our larger self, supported along the way by spirit. One life, one spirit, operating through each one of us. We accept this inner strength to show up and feel included. We are willing to be the life of spirit in action. We are very, very grateful, expanding in this human life. We are gratefully succeeding in stepping forward into our greater good. And so it is. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, thank you, Jan. And so it is. We are definitely, I affirm, stepping into our greater good. Thank you, beloved. Okay, I'm handing the screen back right over to Heart Dream for our last song this morning. Om is God's sacred sound.
Walk ye right in from the dark and step into the light. Leave all your cares and worries there. See the one in God's eye, in our heart.
God's love resounds in our soul. God's joy abounds.
Let love flow
Inflow, outflow in. Om is God's sacred sound. Release your mind into God and merge into knowing why.
I am
You and you are me, free by grace, we will fly. In our heart, God's love resounds. In our soul,
Wow, what a beautiful song for us to take into our service this morning. Whoa, thank you so much, Heart Dream. We are so deeply blessed and poured upon, poured into. Thank you for you. Thank you, Jan, for being here. Reminder, you can find Heart Dream at heartdream.com, and you're able to purchase all of their music on all the various streaming sites. So for whatever your listening style is, it's there for you. I think you can even order CDs. I still have CDs. My car still has a CD player. So thank you, Jan, Steve, Mirabai. We're so grateful for the space you held for us this morning, for activating our space with you, with your essence. We are grateful. Thank you. We will see you on the Facebook live stream side. Wow. Blessings, blessings. We love you and appreciate you. Well, as always, I am full of the deepest gratitude to have my soul sister, Reverend Verona, here with us sharing today, embracing the flow, which we can all use a piece of that, right? Just imagine yourself flowing versus, fighting, climbing or something strenuous. We want to just relax and let the water carry us. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Reverend Verona for those of you who are just getting to know this wonderful being of light. I am pulling up a brand new bio. Yeah, let me turn that. Reverend Verona is a prosperity mentor, certified freedom life coach, agape and Centers for Spiritual Living minister, staff outreach minister at CSL Palm Springs, California. Best-selling author, Destination Freedom, Flying Out of Debt, her new book, which there's a book signing today. We're going to drop the information in the chat. Verona's ministries include global experiential speaking, prosperity play shops, spiritual guidance sessions, and life rituals, and as featured presenter at the Centers for Spiritual Living Conference in nearby Kenya. Find her wherever life beckons in joy, exuberance, and flow. That is the truth. You can find Verona at veronagarland.com. And she is an exquisite being, and we are so grateful to share time together and that you bring your heart and soul and essence, authenticity, and love to us. We're grateful for you and your light that you shine for us. I'm going to pray us into the space and then hand the screen right over to Reverend Verona. So if you would just take a moment to just breathe into your heart space, into your lungs, fill your lungs, enter into the sacred space. We recognize that Spirit is always present, offering us the grace to release resistance and align with divine flow. We surrender anything that no longer serves our highest and best, knowing that our hearts and our minds are open to infinite goodness and godness. In this moment, we affirm our oneness with the loving essence of God, trusting the process of life as it unfolds perfectly in perfect divine order. We bless Verona, Reverend Verona, holding her in gratitude and love and opening ourselves fully to her inspired message, the message of spirit that flows in through and as her, Verona. With thanksgiving, we release this word into the field of infinite possibilities and great love. And so it is. Ashe, amen, namaste. Thank you, beloved. We are so grateful. Take us into the flow.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful, sweet, spectacular, steeped in spirit, Amy. Thank you. I must say, when I awakened this morning, part of what brought me joy was that I knew I'd be prayed in by you, Amy. So thank you. And that I get to spend time here with my Unity Inspired Living family. Yay! So today, what showed up for me, now this releasing resistance theme, I must say, I love it. And I don't know how I don't feel so good about it because it is about really releasing resistance. So even last week when I was thinking about this, like last weekend, I was being with it. Of course, Spirit brought everything up to me that needs to be released, resistance that needs to be released. So before we get into exactly how that showed up and what happened and let's have a little giggle. You know me, I like to start with a little giggle. So there was mother who went to her son's room on Sunday morning and said, okay, get up. It's time. It's time to go to church. And he said, I'm not going. And she said, why not? And he said, I'll give you two reasons. They don't like me, and I don't like them. I'm not going. And the mother took a deep breath and replied and said, well, I'll give you two reasons why you are going. First reason is you're 48 years old. And the second reason is you're the minister. Yeah. Maybe an inside little minister joke. I don't know. However, it just tickled me. So I thought I would bring it to us, and we could know that, that's just how life is. There's always that opportunity for choice. So what showed up for me is embracing the flow. And in embracing the flow, Spirit put it through me. Are you a tributary? Are you a stream? Or are you a swamp? And so what about your own customized progression? Where's the current? So as we go along, I'd like to start with some definitions so we're on the same page. I know we're already on the same page because there's only one of us here, just completely spectacular, customized outlets of the divine. However, when we start, let's start with some definitions. So what is a tributary? I wanted to be clear, what is a tributary? And what I found is that a tributary flows into a larger stream or body of water or a branch of water. So for us as tributaries, it's real clear that is an absolute example, expression, embracing of the oneness. Like I said just a couple of minutes ago, there is only one of us here. We're just all customized versions of the one power, the one presence, the one essence, the one Christ consciousness, giving of itself, living itself, being itself, bringing itself, and non-resistancing itself in through and as each one of us. So that's the first thing, a tributary. Second one is, what is a stream? Now, I thought I had a lot of ideas about streams because I'm from the country and I remember seeing a lot of creeks and streams. However, what showed up for me, what's a stream, is a steady current. A steady current is what a stream is. So a stream is a steady current that keeps flowing. And in our lives, what could that show up as? It's embodying the life essence that each of us is. And in being a stream, I get to, you get to, we get to put our attention on our intentions. And in putting our attention on our intentions, that means we get to think about our lives. We get to be clear about our lives. We get to be clear, like what is it that happens for you every morning when you open your eyes? Is there an intention set when you open your eyes? Is there gratitude given when you open your eyes? What is it? Or even when you get up, get dressed, get in your car and hit the road, what is the intention that is being set? So part of this being the stream of the divine, embodying the life force of the thing itself, is attention to our attentions. If we put attention on our attentions, and anything we put our attention on, of course, it grows, it blossoms, it gestates, it blooms. Yeah, anything, no matter what it is, whatever we put our attention on any intention, it grows. And then the third thing is, are you a swamp? And so a swamp is defined as a tract of wet, spongy land unfit for cultivation. Now, I do know that I've read lots of books, and you probably have too, that there's all sorts of creatures and critters in swamps that live in there. So there is something going on in a swamp, because a swamp, much like a gorgeous, beautiful, powerful blue ocean, is still an expression of the divine. However, for our purposes today, a swamp is a tract of wet, spongy land unfit for cultivation. And in what way does that show up in our lives? The way that shows up is, excuse me, stagnation of growth. That we stagnate ourselves in our growth. And the easiest way to stagnate ourselves in our growth is turning away from our spiritual practices. Turning away from those things that we know, spiritual practices that are the absolute magical, mystical tools of the divine within, through, and as each one of us. Meditation, prayer, journaling, doing what we're doing here just now, coming together and communing together, as well as education. That's a spiritual practice, educating ourselves in the truth of the divine that already is within and as each one of us. However, sometimes it can't come out without someone else taking the lid off or opening it up. Or, I mean, I've been in several classes where I've learned things and I think later on, oh, I knew that somewhere within me. However, the spiritual practice of education brought it out and amplified it and explained it and made it so much more. So these three things: are you a tributary, a stream, or a swamp? That's what we're going to deal with here today. And what about your progression, excuse me, in each one of these areas? So I would like to share a story with you. And this story I'm sharing with you, I just learned about this last week. And I am admitting to you, yes, I watch television. Okay, I'm being transparent up front. I watch television. And I watch the Learning Channel. And I saw on the Learning Channel that they were having a new show. It's called Jay and Pamela. And this show, Jay and Pamela, is about two young people. They're 30 and 28 years old, and they have osteogenesis imperfecta type 3. Each one of them has this. And what is that's called? That's better known as brittle bone disease. So it inhabits the bone growth. It makes the person who has it they're very fragile with multiple fractures. Like both of these young people have had up to 400 fractures in their bones. And the other part that it does, it in the growth process, it makes a person be a little person. That the tallest someone with this osteogenesis imperfecta type 3 can get is about 4 feet tall at the most, at the very, very most, maybe even less than that, like 3.5 feet tall. Okay. And so the two of them, Jay, he was given 5 years to live at the time of his birth, and Pamela was given 1 year to live at the time of her birth. And they were both, they told their parents, this is it. This is, So they now are 28 and 30. They use motorized wheelchairs to get around, and they lead their lives in a very spectacular way. And the reason I say this, they lead their lives as a tributary and a stream and not a swamp. They could have been a swamp. They could have just decided, their parents could have decided, and they could have decided that this is unfit for cultivation. They could have decided there's nothing happening here, nothing's going to go on. And they could have taken what the medical community said about them living to be 1 year old and 5 year old. But instead, they didn't do that. Jay and Pamela, they did not do that. They made a decision. Their parents made a decision. The soul within them made a decision that they are here for more than that. That they are here for so much more than that. And so now they're adults, and I believe the reason it's a television show is they're a couple, they're in a romance, and they're getting married. And they're getting married, and their plan is, their intention, which they are putting their attention on, is to marry, live independently, and at the moment they live in Jay's parents' house to live on their own. So the reason this struck me, it really struck me, is that this is really an example of tributary, the oneness, stream, staying, embodying the life force and giving attention to the intentions, as well as not being a swamp, choosing that the swamp is a wonderful expression of the Most High God, that it's still there's no duality in spirit. However, choosing to not be in the swamp. Okay. And so it struck me that this is a perfect example of what we're talking about here when we're talking about this whole month, releasing resistance. So I found a reading. Oh, incidentally, happy National Women's History Month. And yesterday, happy International Day of the Woman. And so I found a reading that speaks to this about Jay and Pamela and us. And it's by Sue Patton Thule. And it's the Woman's Book of Confidence. And what it says is, so many of us believe that we need to resist our resistance, not let it get the best of us. But resistance may be a message from our wise inner self to stop, listen, and pay attention. We can learn to rest in our resistance, lean into it gently, sending it love and mercy versus battling or suppressing it. Let that sink in for a minute. Isn't that a little bit different than what we might automatically decide about resistance? We can lean into it. We can open up to what it's come to let us know, what is wanting to emerge. I believe that this young couple, Jay and Pamela, this is what they've done. They've really done that they're living into the stream and the tributary of the one life and power and presence that each of them is individually and collectively, while not resisting their resistance. So I was so happy to know about all this, grateful, and thinking, oh, wonderful Spirit. And how does this, in what way do we hook this onto our tool belt of spirituality, hook this into the practices that we all already participate in, willingly, joyously, expectantly, and so much more. So what showed up for me is the 3 R's. You all know me, the 3 R's. And so the 3 R's showed up as radical awareness, radical acceptance, and radical appreciation. Radical awareness, radical acceptance, and radical appreciation. So about radical awareness. In radical awareness, I get to ask myself, what's holding me back? And the way to find the answer to that is being spiritually alert and knowing that our life mirrors our thoughts and our beliefs. I know. I don't like to think that all the time either about myself. However, the life that I have right now is mirroring my spiritual thoughts, my spiritual beliefs. Whatever it looks like is because my beliefs are birthing themselves in through and as me. So first thing is be in a place of radical awareness, being aware. And also another quote from Sue Thule is, as we sensitively trust and explore, we'll be able to uncover the wise reasons in our life for resistance. So just being in a place of awareness and being willing to be aware. No pressure, no putting ourselves down, no making it yet another thing to put on our to-do list. Yeah, being in a place of awareness first. Second thing, radical awareness was first. Second thing, radical acceptance. Yes, this is the second R, radical acceptance. And all this requires is perseverance. It requires perseverance and a belief in the law of transmutation. Now, what does this all mean, Rev Verona? First, perseverance. Accepting that is a blessing, accepting that has come to you, accepting that is yours to gift and be, accepting. And I mean accepting even when it looks like it's a mess. Even when it looks like, well, what'd you bring this to me for, Spirit? Accepting. And as far as uncovering and exploring the law of transmutation, as I speak it, the universe makes it happen. That's the law of transmutation. That's it. And as Catherine Ponder says, our words are charged with prospering power. So whenever you use your words, be aware. Your words are charged with prospering power. Every word I say brings about some sort of expression on the human plane. So that's the second one, radical acceptance of everything that shows up in my life. And the thing about the radical acceptance is knowing it's a blessing. I don't know if I spoke about it, but recently or not, I went to the gym, parked my car in the parking lot, and came out, and my passenger side mirror was almost torn off. Someone had obviously hit and I back into the parking spaces at the gym, so maybe that was it. Someone had hit that mirror. So for me, the practice then was to have radical acceptance of the fact that all right, it's a blessing that the mirror's still there. Because, we all drive around in computers and they're all electronics are in there. Secondly, the other radical acceptance was that, okay, Spirit, I know you're sending some abundance my way because this needs to get fixed. Yeah. So those two things of radical acceptance and radical, really, really, really accepting it for what it was. And that it's a blessing. And to know, for me, the important part is, and be patient about understanding the blessing. That's it. Be patient about understanding the blessing, because in all transparency, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting and knowing that the abundance for the mirror is on its way to me. Yes, it's happening. So, okay, so radical awareness, radical acceptance. And the third one, radical appreciation, gratitude, appreciation, gratitude for even the minute things in our lives. I am grateful that we have 2 ways to communicate with one another on Sunday mornings at Unity Inspired Living. I am grateful that we can be all over the planet and still be with one another. You know, I am grateful that, oh, there's a gazillion things I could say, but mostly radical appreciation. And as I radically appreciate all that there is in life, even the climate we live in today in these United States of America, as I appreciate it, then that attitude of gratitude opens up other doors, opens up other possibilities, opens up all sorts of things. That attitude of gratitude is actually a verb on its own. The attitude of gratitude. It's an action item. You know, sometimes you're in meetings and at the end people say, okay, who has what action item? Well, the attitude of gratitude is an action item. Absolutely, for sure. And all these 3 things, the 3 R's, radical awareness, radical acceptance, radical appreciation, all of these things all come together to bring us into being the stream and the tributary of the divine, allowing ourselves to release resistance and be those things, as well as blessing the swamp that may show up in us every once in a while. I'm not saying it doesn't show up, because it does. Blessing it, just blessing it. And once again, these 2 young people, Jay and Pamela, who we've talked about here, they absolutely use the 3 R's: radical awareness, radical acceptance, radical appreciation, and they're motoring on into life. Yeah, just as we can, each one of us. So Florence Scovel Shinn says, nothing on earth can resist an absolutely non-resistant person. Nothing on earth can resist an absolutely non-resistant person. So I'm going to explain with you, or share with you, like I love to do, because you're my wonderful family. So how is this showing up in my life? The 3 R's. What are the 3 R's doing in my life? Radical acceptance, radical appreciation, radical awareness. So as our wonderful divine spiritual director leader, Amy, said, I've written a book. And so I wrote the book, and as a result of writing the book, you both know I have 2 adult children. My adult children have stepped up to be parts of my book team. My son is my financial director. My daughter is my marketing director. And my marketing director, actually, as you probably know, has a degree in marketing and works in marketing. That's how she lives on purpose in the world. So she said to me, okay, here's what you do. She gave me a list of things to do. You order this many books. You order 50 books. You get your books in every spiritual center you can think of. You go to every bookstore in the Bay Area, da, 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 da. And I want you all to know that when she told me all this stuff, I had a big, humongous experience of resistance. Yeah. And the resistance, I had this big experience of resistance. And so I did what some of us sometimes do when Spirit presents us with an opportunity for infinite possibilities. I said, yes, okay. While thinking, I'm not doing that. However, when I took it into meditation and I took it into contemplation, I realized the only reasons I didn't want to do that was I was in a swamp. I was in the stagnation of the swamp of, will I be accepted? Will it be well received? What if someone says no? Yeah. I was really surprised and happy that this little tidbit still of that sort of belief system came niggling right up, came right up and through, just like made its way to the top, so that I could learn, okay, use the 3 R's first. The first part was the radical awareness, like, oh, that's what this is about. Okay, I didn't know that. And you know how sometimes, I don't know about you, but in my enlightenment journey, I think, I thought I already worked on that. I thought that was already gone. And then it shows up at another level. It shows up to a different intensity, and I get to say, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Here we go again. Let's rock and roll again. And the second thing, radical acceptance. I got to accept that this thing I'm calling a book is an expression of the Most High that's flowing through me. So of course it's accepted. Of course it's, of course there are those who it transforms their lives, opens hearts, and is my part of changing the planet, of bringing love and joy and peace to the planet, which is who I am. Okay, and the third one was radical appreciation, which I got to appreciate. I have these adult people, who I happen to call my children, who are willing to use their skills to help me And the skills they're using are skills that they live on purpose for, like the marketing skills. And my son, the financial director, my son is, as you all know, his job is he's a welder. However, he's the shop steward too. And part of that is he deals with some of the monies there. Yeah. So I have to realize, oh, I get to appreciate this. Spirit said, here you go. Could I put it on a platter any closer to you? You get it from the two people who you brought to the world or brought their bodies to the planet. Spirit brought them to the planet. So I got to understand and realize to use the 3 R's for myself: radical awareness, radical acceptance, and radical appreciation, and all of this and so much more. So I want to put a challenge to you today. And the challenge is, what's your choice? Swamp, stream, tributary? Which one would you like in the universal life force? Which one do you choose? And are you truly ready, available, and willing to use the 3 R's: radical awareness, radical acceptance, and radical appreciation in the ongoing, joyously blessed journey of releasing resistance? Namaste.
I'm getting you back to the gallery. But I was cold, so I put a sweater on, but it doesn't match my shirt. But that's okay. Thank you, beloved. That was so amazing. And I love always how the stream of consciousness is always connected. And because I talked about the alchemy of acceptance last week and all of these pieces, and there's still a thought out there that kind of the resisting the resistance or fighting against. And I appreciate how we're all connected in this space of like, we're not fighting against, right? We're leaning in and we're asking the deeper questions and exploring the depth more than kind of making the judgment of it's wrong, and so thank you for bringing that to us. And thank you, Carol, for taking all the notes. I take some notes, but I don't take nearly the notes that I used to take because I have Carol on the live stream. When I see she's on the live stream, like, primo, we are good to go. Except sometimes when it, I don't know, it like refreshes and I don't have them all, but I have the most recent ones. So let's just go back through a little recap, which we talked about first: the tributary, the swamp, and wait, what was the third one? Wait, we had this
Stream.
the stream. That's right. It's right in
Thank
front of
you,
me.
Mom.
The steady current. And then we went into, you said the 3 R's, but they could also be the 3 A's.
Yes, yes.
The 3 R's and the 3 A's: radical awareness, radical acceptance, and radical appreciation. And thank you for talking about, just be willing to be willing. And I think that's a really important piece. And I touched on that too last week. A Course in Miracles says, it just takes a little willingness. And what is meant by that is that, we don't have to be completely in charge, right? We can hand it over to God. We can lay it on the altar. That's the phrase I often use in my life. I'm just laying it down. It means I'm laying it on the altar. Like, I have put the willingness, the little bit of willingness, and then I know that Spirit takes it the rest of the way. And so thank you for reminding us of that. There's so many great reminders today. Just even in your opening, before we even got to the 3 R's, you talked about the intention, the intention that we are putting the attention on the intention. And just the reminder of like, how are you waking up in the morning? When you are first opening your eyes, are you like, darn it, it's spring forward today? Which, okay, we all might get a pass today on that one. Right? But every day we get to say, how are we starting our day? And what am I grateful for?
Mm-hmm.
And just the simple things sometimes, like I open my eyes and I get to see. clearly. Or I turn on the faucet and I get to wash my hands. I know when I've gone camping and I don't have that, I'm like, I really miss that running water.
Mm.
So keeping ourselves in that vibration, and that's the point of this, like when we talk about our spiritual practice, right, is keeping our vibration, or keeping, our attention on our vibration. Like where are we? Because we become a vibrational match for things in our life. I think even mentioned mirroring our life. What's happening in our lives is mirroring, right, where we are. And so you said that about waking up, and then there was something else. Oh, I'm forgetting, but you mentioned a lot of important reminders for us today. I know what I was thinking about. Whenever my kids, when they were all in my nest under the same roof, when they started driving, and I remember my daughter driving away with her boyfriend one time, and and she would just wait and tell him, just wait a minute, because mom, prays over the car and all the things she does, and setting that space, holding that space. And it really, I know you do the same things with your kids, that you're just like, yeah, here goes mom.
Yes.
But that is our practice, right? And gosh, it makes such a difference to embodying this, being in the flow.
Yes.
So thank you for reminding us about this, because we've heard this before, awareness, acceptance, appreciation. We talk what we appreciate appreciates. We hear this, right? And it's so fantastic to just get still and like be with it again. Be with what we know again in an intimate way.
Mm.
To say, oh yeah, I know that in my head, and then how does that looking as I embody it
And
each
just like
day?
you said
And
this week, Amy, to let the alchemization happen during that time.
yes, that's the transmutation for sure. That's exactly right. Oh, thank you, beloved. And we are so excited about what you're doing right now and the book you just wrote. And I mean, I'm particularly excited because I remember a couple of years ago talking to you on Zoom and saying, I see that book, my dear. And so
might we share too that I am particularly excited because the acknowledgement in my book is written by Amy Van Lee.
oh, well, that was my joy and pleasure, of course. And I knew this was here within you and ready to come out. And I knew that you were working on it. And when you said it's ready, I was like, you are. Yes. I'm so excited. And there's going to be a book signing today. What time is that, Verona?
1:00 Pacific time, from 1 to 3:30 Pacific time at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Their website is oaklandcsl.org, and that you can get their address from them. And it is an author forum with myself and 3 other authors, and then we're all having book signings.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. That's good. I'll grab their address too from from 1 to
I
3.
know their address. Their address is 5000 Clairwood Drive, Oakland.
Thank you. So that's at 1:00 to 3:00 today in Oakland. Yay. I'm so excited. By the way, this is the book. I love it. Okay, let's check in. Go
I would
ahead.
like to say just one thing. Thank you, Jan, for raffling off a book last week. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes, we did that. We did that in Brentwood,
last
or
week.
I guess it's
And
community center.
Mingus was the recipient, and thank you. And I want to let everyone know I will be with you the first Sunday in April. I'll bring books if you'd like some.
Yes, definitely bring books. For sure, bring books. Okay, we're going to go back into comments here. What time is it? We do have a little bit of time. That's great. It's so funny. My computer still says it's 2:05, but I'm on your time now. I'm on the West Coast. Computer thinks it's on the East Coast. Carol, let's go back here. Will I be accepted, received? Someone says no. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Verona, because I think that's a piece of being authentic that I so appreciate, because that's really what accelerates our growth, is when when we're truthful, when we're transparent, when we live from an honest space. And sometimes as ministers, we could get into the place of like, oh, we always have to be, you know, not have those feelings or not have those doubts, like, will I be? And that's just not realistic. And if anyone's telling you it isn't, they're not telling you the truth. So thank you for being that transparent space where we know that you are sharing from your heart authentically. And what I want to say about that, that's very important for us to all tune into is, you know, there are certain core pieces.
Mhm.
Some might call them wounds, but I like to say there's core pieces of us that will continually show up, maybe as repeated patterns, and maybe that's not true for this particular thing, but we might wonder sometimes, like, why is that showing up again? I thought I dealt with that. I thought I healed that. And so why, you know, is this? And really, I feel, and I said this last week, if we're here, like, for this very deep longing, desire, more than that, calling to evolve and fulfill our life's mission in this life, whatever that looks like, then your repeated pattern is there for you to extract the learning, the lesson, to unravel, to comprehend it for deep, eternal change.
Yes, yes, yes.
So not to look at it like, oh, what's wrong with me? Why is this, you know, what am I'm not doing the work enough. It's showing up so that in this moment you can say, oh, I have the radical awareness and the radical acceptance, and I appreciate it. And you notice that over your life and over time, you have a different response to things, right? And so
That's it.
to celebrate that
Thank you.
and not look at it, like a negative.
No, to celebrate it and to know that it came as an absolute splendiferous blessing. Yeah.
Yeah. A gift, right? For your,
Yes, a gift.
for your evolution, if that word works.
Thank you.
Let's go back to the feed. Jennifer is here. Dave is here. Thank you for being here. Jan says, I'm grateful for you, for your love, for your clarity, for your dynamic, humorous, thoughtful, and reflective sharing. Yes. Don't you love how we always start with a joke? That one was particularly funny. Carol says, resisting resistance. I am still working on this. Be willing to be willing. Yes. Mirabai. Hi, Mirabai. She's here. She said, thank you, Reverend Verona. We really have to let go and make the choice of acceptance to become aware of our true nature. Yes, we are the mouth of the river, releasing joy and flowing into our true nature. That's beautiful. Thank you, Mirabai. Yvette is here. Hi, beautiful. She says, come join us on March 29th as Reverend Verona discusses her new book with the Agape Bay Area Book Club. Yay! I didn't know about that one. So thank you. I'm gonna list that one too. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
talk to Leah. About this marketing stuff. Leah is Verona's daughter. Who's amazing. Luinda says, thank you, Verona. I'm reminded of releasing resistance, a good reminder for me. Nancy says, I can never be reminded too often. Yeah, I feel the same way, Nancy. Truly, there are things that there have been moments that I've been in moments I have said, oh, I already know this, you know, this feels like, you know, back to point A. And then when I open up and I stop and I say, oh, I'm different now, you know, I'm viewing it as a different person, there is always something to take away. Yeah, even there was a book, was it maybe it was like the Four Agreements, something that we all kind of know, basics, right? Back to the basics. And there was something recently I'm not thinking of, but I was like, oh, something just hit in just a little bit different way. And I've read that book, got workshops on that book, you know, right? So yeah, always creating the space to say I'm new and I'm viewing through new, fresh eyes. Jan says, funny you say that, Amy, about spring forward because the first thing I thought was, thank God for a phone that automatically changed my clock. Yes, that was great. I had set my alarm for the exact amount of time I needed to get ready. So you can see the picture of me getting ready to be the reader. Yes. Yeah, that was great. I know. I did say that this morning. Isn't it nice how we don't have to change any of the clocks anymore? True. Carol says, yeah, acknowledgement. Oh, yes. I'm so grateful to write that, of course. I probably could have written a few pages, but I think she said short. And I said, I don't know that it's short. Did my best. And she said, yes, I would like to buy one of your books. Yes. So Verona will have those when she's there April, first Sunday in April. Or you could head to Oakland this afternoon. Carol says, truthful and transparent accelerates our growth. Yes, it does. Yeah. I mean, that's a whole talk in itself, but yes. Core pieces, wounds. I thought I healed this. Yeah. Pat says, some have asked me that you are in retirement. Why don't you just relax and have fun? Actually, I am having fun, but in the flow of mainly tributary and stream. Yes. Deep calling. Yes. Calling to evolve, pattern, external, appreciate, extract for change, evolution. Thank you, Carol, for your notes. Reverend Dr. Dee Moore, beginner's mind. Yes, exactly. Beginner's mind. That's what I was looking for. Thank you for reading my mind. Beloved souls, thank you for being with us today, for co-creating this space, for sharing in this beautiful, powerful message. And Verona, thank you for you. We are deeply grateful. We are going to move into the workshop in about 15 minutes. We begin at 11:30, and please, everybody come. I'm going to drop the link right here in the chat. I'm also going to drop Verona's link and the other information you're going to want to know about later today. And we're so grateful. We're so grateful if you feel refreshed, restored, had a great revitalization, remembering today. We are grateful for your energetic exchange. You can visit us on our giving page at unityinspiredliving.org. And know that all of our contributions create this vitality here, this inspiration, this space where we can share. And your exchange says, I value the purpose of this organization. I am part of this mission, and I say yes to co-creating this space. So thank you for consciously giving with us. We are going to close with the prayer of divine awakening, and I'm going to share that on my screen right now. Verona, I'll put that in the chat on Facebook because I don't think the chat on here can be seen. Okay, everybody, speak this into your life. You know, you are the master captain of your ship, the master of your fate, and you get to make declarations about your life. You get to claim your day. So do it. Feel into this. It's a new day, a beautiful day, a new beginning. I embrace this day with new eyes, an open heart, and expansive mind. I choose my vibrational frequency deliberately and consciously, harmonizing with life's events. I am receptive to source energy, divine guidance and wisdom available to me at all times. I commit to serve unconditional love fully and completely. I move forward in a state of appreciation and extension of the one magnificent power and presence. I am sovereign, whole, and free, claiming dominion over my life as I go in peace and awaken to my divinity. And so it is. Shine on like the sun, bright ones. We love you. We bless you. Thank you, Reverend Verona, for you, for your essence, for your heart, for your soul. We're so grateful. We are going to see you in 15 minutes, actually 14 minutes in the Zoom room. So hydrate and nourish, and we will see you over there. Mwah! Bright blessings, sweet ones, precious beings.